Dr. Todd claims another win in tonight's episode of Emmerdale, as her daring scheme of coercion proves successful. But could Jacob Sugden's troubles at work spiral further because of it? Todd is determined to protect her standing after trainee medic Jacob reported her to HR for alleged bullying. However, she gains the upper hand after uncovering a major secret involving Charity Dingle. In Thursday's installment, Todd visits Charity again in her hospital room and subtly threatens to reveal that Jacob is not the biological father of baby Leyla. She boldly hints, "I could keep your secret much safer if you persuade Jacob to drop his complaint. It's not really blackmail, more like helping each other out. Anyway, Sarah and Jacob are fortunate, and it would be a shame to ruin their happiness over something trivial." Feeling trapped, Charity reluctantly agrees and urges Jacob to withdraw his claims against Todd. Charity insists she's acting in Jacob's best interests, suggesting he'd be better off cooperating with Todd rather than opposing her. This surprising guidance quickly sways Jacob, prompting him to return to HR representative Carol and state that he no longer wishes to pursue the issue. Even though Jacob seems certain, an unsettling revelation follows when Carol mentions he isn't the only one to have raised concerns about Todd's behavior. Speaking privately, she says others have informally complained about Dr. Todd, and they had been waiting for someone to officially come forward. She had hoped Jacob's report would encourage more people to speak out. Later in the village, Jacob meets Todd and tells her he has decided to drop the matter. The two colleagues agree to move forward and start fresh once Jacob returns from his paternity leave in a few weeks. Behind the scenes, however, Todd has no plans to abandon her quiet grudge against Jacob. Could things take a darker twist when he eventually comes back to work? Emmerdale honoured two familiar faces in a heartfelt way as Jacob and Sarah Sugden finally chose a name for their newborn in tonight's episode. The installment opened with the young parents reflecting on everything they'd endured during the birth, with Jacob reluctantly admitting that despite her harsh behaviour, Dr. Todd handled the crisis impressively. Prompted by a staff member, Sarah brought the baby over for feeding. She initially worried she hadn't given enough, but was reassured that a newborn's stomach is tiny, so it was perfectly fine. Later, they took the baby into Charity's hospital room, allowing her to cradle the child while expressing their gratitude, saying they would always remember how she went out of her way to help them. It was then revealed that the baby had been named Leyla Charity Sugden. The middle name serves as a tribute to Charity's support, while the first name honours Jacob's late mother, who tragically lost her life in the limo crash earlier in 2025. The moment proved overwhelming for Jacob, who stepped out of the room. Kerry Wyatt followed him and offered comfort, assuring him that his mum would have been incredibly proud. However, the joyful atmosphere doesn't last long, as Dr. Todd's life-saving efforts fail to change her attitude. She attempts to leverage her actions to persuade Jacob to withdraw his complaint, but he insists her behaviour only strengthens his resolve to continue, determined to stand up for colleagues who have left their jobs because of her. Feeling slighted, Todd later discovers through medical records that baby Leyla wasn't born via surrogacy, but is actually the result of Charity and Ross being together. The question now is how quickly she'll use this revelation to her advantage. Emmerdale saw Dr. Todd make shocking and unsettling accusations about Jacob Sugden as she tried to escape consequences for her actions. The ruthless medic confronted Jacob and launched into an intense rant, exaggerating her importance as a doctor in an attempt to pressure him into withdrawing his complaint. As viewers are aware, Todd has made Jacob's life difficult for months, abusing her role as his mentor to undermine him constantly and leave him doubting himself. Meanwhile, Jacob has been putting in exhausting hours to support his wife Sarah Sugden as they get ready for parenthood. However, managing work has been incredibly tough, with Todd constantly hovering, setting impossible targets and criticizing him even when he succeeds. After reaching breaking point, Jacob approached HR earlier in the week, reporting Todd's toxic behavior in hopes of preventing her from treating others the same way. Todd grew suspicious when she noticed him leaving the HR office and pressed him for answers. This led to a heated exchange, with Jacob finally snapping and making it clear he would no longer tolerate her misuse of authority. However, the situation shifted dramatically when Todd was urgently needed to assist Charity Dingle, who had just given birth to Jacob and Sarah's baby in a lift at Houghton General. As the only available doctor, Todd stepped in and performed the procedure that ultimately saved Charity's life. Although Jacob expressed gratitude, Todd quickly twisted the situation to her advantage. She attempted to manipulate him, suggesting that if her career were ruined because of his complaint, countless patients could suffer as a result. Disgusted by her argument, Jacob stood his ground, explaining that his actions were meant to protect future doctors from being driven out by her harsh treatment. He challenged her, questioning how many talented staff members she may have pushed away over the years, given the already stretched and understaffed hospital environment. Todd dismissed his claims outright, even labeling him as weak. Despite her relentless pressure, Jacob refused to back down or withdraw his report. Although Todd initially appeared shaken, she soon uncovered a major secret regarding the baby's true parentage, realizing that Jacob and Sarah are not the biological parents. Now the real question is what she plans to do with this explosive discovery, and how she might use it as leverage in her ongoing battle against Jacob. Emmerdale is lining up an unexpected twist involving Dr. Todd and Vanessa Woodfield, as the scheming medic turns her attention to the unsuspecting vet during a night out at the Woolpack next week. Vanessa joins Todd and Manpreet Sharma for a relaxed evening at the pub, where barmaid Mary Goskirk suggests a friendly doubles darts game to bring everyone together. When Todd and Vanessa end up paired on the same team, Todd begins making subtle advances as the game gets underway. Confident, blonde, and with a slightly mischievous edge, Dr. Todd fits Vanessa's usual type perfectly, an insider reveals. Todd edges closer behind Vanessa and playfully guides her throw, using it as an excuse to get physically nearer. But Vanessa remains completely unaware of what's going on and doesn't pick up on Todd's flirtatious behavior at all. Elsewhere, Todd presses on with her plan to undermine Jacob, taking advantage of every opportunity to spread harmful rumors about him and influence how others in the village see him. Now that Todd has settled into village life, her presence is making new dad Jacob more and more uneasy, the source continues. After being reported to HR, she's determined to hit back by targeting his personal life, quietly planting doubts in people's minds to turn them against him. It's a bold move, especially since most villagers have known Jacob since he was young, but Todd isn't afraid to take risks. As the week goes on and another darts night is arranged, Todd gets yet another chance to show her interest in Vanessa. At this point, it's hard to tell whether Todd genuinely likes Vanessa or if it's all part of a larger scheme, the insider adds. Either way, Vanessa deserves something positive. She's a great catch. A successful doctor might seem like the perfect partner if only Todd didn't have such a dark side. Things could become much more complicated for the village vet moving forward. Will Todd keep pursuing Vanessa? And could Vanessa finally notice the signals next time, potentially leading to romance? Emmerdale airs on weekday evenings at 8 p.m. on ITV1 and is also available for streaming on ITVX.